This podcast is sponsored by Carrot Competitions. They're one of the fastest growing competition sites in the UK. You can win cash, trips away, watches, cars, much more. And ticket entries are as low as 5p an entry. And they also have some fantastic, funny videos on their Instagram page at Carrot Competitions 1. Go check them out, carrotcompetitions.co.uk. You can see the logo there in the screen. Yep, hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Thank you. Welcome back, episode 17 of Kitchen Talk Podcast. Bit of a different camera angle today. You might notice the keen of you will have picked up on. Um, why, you might ask? Well, I couldn't be fucked rearranging the kitchen, and this table, by the way, don't know if you obviously can't tell. The legs are absolutely fucked on it. So, and I think the me moving it about every week genuinely is taking its toll on the table. So, I thought we'd just keep it like this today because it's a solo episode. I mentioned at the beginning of last week's episode with James Hume that now that we're sponsored, we'll be doing 2 episodes a week. A solo episode, which will be coming out today, Wednesday, um, and a episode on Saturdays, as usual, with a guest. And tell you what, it's a very, very special guest this week. It might actually come out on Friday because I'm going to see Oasis. Don't know why I did that this weekend in London. So yeah, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. Who knows? I'll see if I can schedule it to upload on a Saturday. Um, but if not, fuck it. Who cares? But yes, as I mentioned, solo episode today. Um, I've a lot of things planned to talk about. It's been a while from we've had a solo episode now. Uh, I feel a bit weird doing it now. Don't know why. Like I've never like when I was doing it before the solo episodes, I never felt awkward or anything. But now I'm like, trying to like think of all different things we can do for the podcast, like that I can fill out a fucking hour or 45 minutes by myself. So we've got a couple of, to be honest, I've just got a couple of mental videos to show you. Um, and some of you will be glad to know. I know that there's some people won't be glad to know. Beer review is back. Now I know the thing is, these beers, we haven't done a beer review in a while. I'm always skeptical about offering the guests a beer because I know it's awkward to say no to things. And I typically record in like, the morning time on a Saturday. Who really wants a beer? Well, I do at that time on a Saturday morning, but a lot of the guests, they don't fancy it. So I just think it's better to keep it as a solo episode feature. Um, trying to think before we get into the nitty gritty of this week's podcast. What have I been up to? I was in London a while ago for Kiltony. Didn't get pulled out. Don't worry about it. Um, trying to think. I've done a couple of lazy boys and tea with me's. I think a lot of you who are watching now, I've checked my analytics the other day. There's a lot of people watching this now, which is a lot more than I anticipated. So I have to, I want to give you the best. You see me on tea with me and you see me on Lazy Boys, and you might think, oh, he knows his stuff. I don't. I'm a rookie, an amateur, a noob if you're a gamer. Uh, but yeah, so we just if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Uh, it's a bit of a shit show, to be honest. It's usually better when we've got a guest on. So if this one's shite, forgive me. But we're just trying to fucking get the content out. Wafflers live podcast. That's what I wanted to talk about. We did that on Friday just past there. Great success. A lot of people who watch the podcast didn't come down. I noticed because I have a lot of viewers and not a lot of tickets sold. But that's okay. Teething issues. I understand. You'll be down for the next one. Um, which we do plan to have in and around October. We'll be making announcements very soon. Keep an eye open for those. Uh, and I think we might be able to get some very special guests. Don't know why I did that voice. Don't worry about it. Um, suppose what we may as well do is just get stuck into the beer review. I would like to make you aware that I'm just after my lunch. It's a Wednesday afternoon. I'm taking a long lunch in work. Don't tell the boss. Only joking. I have flexi time. It's just getting weird. So yeah, we've got a. I don't think it's an IPA this week. Now, if you're a new viewer and you never watched any of the solo episodes, bit of backstory. I had a subscription to a beer service and forgot to cancel it. So I have a plethora of IPAs in the back hall of my house. And I came up with the idea of doing a beer review on the podcast to try to get the fucking number of beers in the back hall down. Um, which isn't really working, to tell you the truth. I think I had a couple of friends over a while ago for a few beers, Might have shifted off three of them there. I don't really know. I don't count them anymore. They're sitting beside a big fucking box of cherry Pepsi Max, not cherry Pepsi Max, Dr Pepper. Mm. So I don't even look in the beers anymore. They're just sort of gathering dust at the minute. But we do have a beer here today. I'll try to show up to the camera. A Bavaria Premium Holland or Bavaria Holland Premium Beer, 5%. Ooh, I don't think it's an IPA. This one, simply for the fact that if they are an IPA, they typically tell you that they're an IPA. Um, it doesn't say what it is; it just says premium beer, which isn't the bad thing. Uh, some of you will remember I like to read out the descriptions of the tins. Unfortunately, we don't have one. We just have the brewed and canned in Holland by Prodota. Oh no, it's the company name. I'm not going to read out their fucking address and everything unless I like it. Um, yeah, pretty standard kind of beer. I quite like the color scheme on it. The grey top, blue bottom, pretty good. Um, Former listeners will know that with the IPA tins, what happened with a lot of them was they came as a tin, but with like the sticker wrapped around the tin, and that's like how the design was put on. These, however, this this beer here, that's all aluminium. So it is. That's fucking pressed into that. No sticker here. So already 10 out of 10 on the uh that aspect. Fuck knows what, what we call it. There's a compass up there. I'll show you. It's got the S marked for south, I believe. If I if I know my compasses, and I do, that'll mean south. Which makes me think: is this a South Holland beer? Because there is a lot of people. Fun fact: don't know why I'm telling you this. Probably just to get the minutes up. Uh, a lot of people call the Netherlands Holland. I'm one of them. What? That's actually incorrect. Holland is like a county or like a region, province of the Netherlands. There's North Holland, Holland, South Holland. Don't know what the other two are called. Maybe there's potentially two or three, but fuck if I know what they are. Um, so yeah, this appears to be a South Holland premium beer, 5%. There's a wee man. I don't know if you can see that. There's a wee man at the bottom. Maybe you can't. Don't know who he is. What's his deal? Actually, Fan Swinkle. Is that the man who made this beer? Oh no, Johann Swinkle, Bavaria. Bavaria is a region. Bavarian. Where the fuck's that now? If someone knows, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking of Bohemia potentially, which used to be, which is like where Prague and Germany, etc. are. Don't know, can't remember. Um, if anyone's good at geography or history, let me know where Bavaria is. Is Bavaria part of Germany? Bavarian? Yeah, that's the fucking like Oktoberfest shit like that. I think. But let's just get tucked into the beer and see what we think. Already, there's no description, so it loses marks there. Um, Nice 10. I like the fact. I'm looking forward to the fact that it's. Oh, meant to say, yeah, it's a Wednesday afternoon. I'm just off from a lunch. This might not go down too easy, to be honest. But as we all know, I never finish them on the podcast. Um, oh, I didn't do the ASMR. What am I fucking amateur rookie or? Um, I'll put it back up. Hold on. Enjoy this. That might have absolutely assaulted your ears. I hope it didn't, though. Let me have a look here. Oh, I don't know what that smells like. It smells like a. I'm getting a. What the fuck is that fruit? Hold on. Oh, I've got a bit of beer on my nostril. That's See what I mean. Amateur hour. We don't know what we're doing this podcast. Now I've got beer up my nose. I'll tell you what. I've had worse beer up my nose. Uh, Without further ado, what is that fruit? I'm really trying to pick up on it. Maybe this is an IPA. I don't know. We'll maybe do a quick Google after and find out. But or if you're watching along at home, have a Google. Yeah, fair enough. Let's do a taste test of Bavaria Holland Premium Beer, 5%. How many units? Don't know. Bavaria Holland Premium Beer, 5%. Let's go. Oh, that is. Sorry, that's also probably horrific on the mic. It's actually not bad. I the thing about these sort of European beers, especially the sort of what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word for like Germany, Holland, Belgium, to an extent France? Because you know the way that Spain is like Iberic. Am I just even saying words here? Iberico. Um, what is like the equivalent for Germany at all? Uh, fuck, I don't know. But it's actually quite good. It's quite strong. A very strong flavor to it. You could again. I've just brushed my teeth and had my lunch. It's probably not going down too well because of that, but it's not a bad beer compared to some of the other IPAs we've had on the show podcast. Um, I would say it's actually one of the better ones. If keen listeners will remember, I think it was the last solo episode. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. We had the lager, that fucking big tall tin of lager. Big fan of that. I think I actually drank the whole thing. Maybe not on podcast. Maybe after I stopped filming, but I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give that the number two spot for now. Um, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's I'm gonna give it taste about a 6.5. Again, it's been sitting in the back hall for a while. It has been in the fridge for a couple of days, so we were prepared today. Uh, yeah, I think a 6.5 probably a fair judgment of it. Let me give it another resuck. Yeah, not a bad beer at all. Probably shouldn't drink the rest of it because I am going back to work at some stage. Uh, yeah, happy with that. So yeah, let me know if you've ever had this beer, Bavaria Holland Premium Lager, 5% premium beer. Let me know what you think. If you want tins of it, I don't know where you can get it because I got it in a subscription case. Yeah, let me know what you think of the beer review. And that's the end of the podcast. Thank you. No, that's a joke. We are 11 minutes in. What was I? I know what I wanted to talk about. The, whew, I'm getting emotional thinking about it at the minute. The porn ban that's come in now that it's not necessarily banning porn. It's this new law that Keir Starmer's brought in, or his government rather have brought in. Um, that now if you want to access adult content on websites such as like Pornhub, funny enough, other porn sites, even Twitter and Reddit, I believe, have been got. You have to now show the data of your like the data. You have to show your face, and it'll estimate your age. Um, and a lot of people are freaking out about it, which I have so many like opinions about it. I don't really care because I hear people being like, "Oh, they're sending your data off to third party." Excuse me, sending your data off to third party companies. And this is, by the way, how amateur this podcast is. You just have some big fucking fat idiot burping and probably farting. You don't know, but I know. In his kitchen, talking a little shit about porn and drinking beers. If that's your kind of thing, please follow. I noticed that I have only had 88 followers, by the way. Please continue to follow. Um, if you do enjoy the podcast, if you don't, please stop giving me hate comments on my Instagram comments. I had a guy. I'm getting sidetracked. Had a guy comment there the other day. Um, I did a TikTok video and then I put it on Instagram, and it was me basically saying like, "Oh, about this porn thing." I mentioned in it that I'm 26, and the guy was like 26 stone, and I was like, okay, I'll just delete the comments. But then I was like, no, fuck him because he's a fucking weirdo. I'm gonna fucking give him a piece of my mind. Went on to his account above, shout out above dot the clouds with a Z. I'm gonna fucking find out who you are, and you're gonna regret ever commenting that because it's like I'm not even like being. I understand in my previous clips that I've been slobbering about. Fucking people going to the gym and like all the fucking high rocks weirdos. Fair enough, you can get offended at that. But this one was just a harmless video about me talking about, giving or helping teenage boys wank, and it's not as weird as that sounds. And I'm getting dogs abuse, but I've requested to follow him, so I'll keep you updated. Maybe we'll make that a segment on the podcast. Every hate comment I get, I'll just fucking message them and slobber at them and put that on the podcast. Fuck it, why not? But yes, people are complaining about the porn ban because uh, they give off or they give your data as being fucking handled by a third party company in America, and people are like, I don't want my data. taken or something. And it's like, see, if you're on your phone doing anything, your data's getting used no matter what. And I don't mean your fucking the 25 gigabytes you get from Vodafone every month. I mean like your details and shit, not like anything serious, but your name, what you're into, what kind of fucking socks you like to wear. That's all getting, fed to companies anyway. That's how advertising works. There's nothing nefarious going on. And they're like, I don't want to be in, I don't want them to know, what my face looks like. It's like there are so many cameras everywhere. You're already online. Do you know what I mean? If anyone wants to know what you look like, they can just go look at your fucking Tenerife holiday photos from 2016. Do you know what I mean? It's not that fucking. You're not off the grid, mate. You know what I mean? You've got Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, probably Twitter and all as well. What's the harm in some fucking third party company in America knowing that you like to have a wank? Anyone could look at me and be like, yeah, he wanks. Obviously, who doesn't? You can, now, what I will say is, you can tell, you can look at a man and be like, yeah, he doesn't wank, and even like the way they get on, they don't wank. And the people who say they don't wank typically wank the most, more than like anyone who admits it, by the way, and then even people who admit it that they wank a lot. See someone who says, oh, I don't wank, I just, I have sex. You're a liar. You're a barefaced liar. Because why do you feel the need to? It's like people who joke about having a big dick. Like if you really joked about it that, if you feel the need to joke about it that much, you would just get it out and show us. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing. I'm getting way sidetracked here, but yes, people are like, oh, I don't want the third party company, to know what porn I'm into. Oh no, they're gonna know I'm into big booty Latina milfs. Oh, what a fucking crying shame. Take one look at me. Obviously, I like big booty Latina milfs. Who doesn't? That's how fuck. You know what I mean? I'm a general man. I don't care if some fucking third party data selling company in America knows what I like. Makes no difference to me. You would have a problem if you were watching some fucking, outlandish, borderline illegal stuff. Not even borderline illegal, completely over the line illegal stuff. Then you should be like, yeah, fair enough. I don't want them knowing I'm watching fucking, I don't know, CP, for example. Obviously, you don't want that. This podcast is going mental right now. Um, Obviously then, but you have a bigger fucking problem on your hands if that's what you're watching. Do you know what I mean? Get some help. Stop it, ideally. Uh, I also don't think that the websites that are going to be using, they're hosting those kind of things are going to have fucking the restrictions on them because they're already illegal. So they're already outside the realms of the law. If you were, and it's just a fucking like, and I haven't done it yet. God's honest truth. I know a lot of you are thinking barefaced liar. I just haven't really been bothered about getting on to it. I think I wanted to go on the other day, and then I was like, you know what, I can't be arsed. What I will say though is it makes for great content, as in for the podcast. For I'm writing bits about it at the minute. The craft. Sorry. Um, and it's good content. I'll say that. But I went on to go. I went to go do it the other day, and I was like, looked. I just sort of thought, you know what? Maybe I could do without a wank, sort of thing. Which is a dangerous precedent to set. If you're getting too lazy to wank, I need to really change my life around. Um, and it's interesting seeing like all the sort of like fundamentally, right? This law, who does it affect? Right? Who is the ones getting affected by this? Porn companies probably are losing out in business, I suppose. Probably not though, because they're still fucking making. People who want to watch it will watch it. Um, and teenage boys who obviously can't get onto the websites. Well, not necessarily teenage boys. Maybe there's teenage girls, but we're not here to talk about teenage girls wanking. We're here to talk about teenage boys wanking. This podcast has taken a really sinister turn. From I've lost on it, and you know what? Fuck it, we'll go for it. So yeah, teenage boys wanking. Back to that. That's the main sort of people who are being affected by this because they can't. It'll look at them and be like, okay, yeah, you're quite clearly not 18, and then they'll not be able to watch porn. And it's like if you're one of these people who are like really really against this, I don't even know what you call the law, but if you like, well, for talk's sake, we'll call it the online safety bill. If that's what it's called, I've completely guessed it, and maybe it should be what it's called. Who knows? Um, if you're one of the people who are really against it, it just seems to me like you're really 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 keen to get teenage boys wanking, and I think that's mental. Uh, it's a real seriously weird thing to be like, yeah, I'm gonna feel passionate about this. And also another thing, it's a lot of right wing parties like Reform are picking it up. And I have to tip my hat to Reform and I say, I understand the campaign measure. I understand like the this sort of like appeal to younger voters, because if I was 16 and you took away my right to look at a pair of tits, you know, I would have become radicalized. Never mind fucking the EDL. I would have been the fucking BBL, whatever that means. I would have been, out doing fucking right wing marches. But you would never see someone so radicalized as a horny 15-year-old me who was denied access to breasts. And it's genius from reform, because obviously Labour are passing, um, are going to make it so that 16-year-olds can vote. But then they also took away 16-year-olds right to see tits, and that's just going to sway the fucking voters all one direction. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in politics. But Nigel Farage, obviously the head of reform, had said it infringes on free speech, and it's like, brother, if you've seen me wank, there's nothing free speech about it. To be honest, nobody needs to hear that. What's the American amendment that covers free speech? Fucking, I don't know, 13th or something. Me wanking is not included in that. I'll tell you that for one thing. Um, it's just fucking. And just to go back to it, like, what is the harm in these companies getting your data? Like, what are you so scared of? Like, you're not. Keep in mind, nobody I know or I'm aware of is actually Jason Bourne in real life. What are these companies going to do with your identity? If someone was to, steal my bank card and try to defraud me, the bank would probably sort it out. What is like what? It's like the same thing with fucking like chemtrails, right? Chemtrails in the sky. If you don't know what chemtrails are, do you ever see planes? Right? I have said that as if you can reply to me, but planes in the sky. Hear me out. They leave behind those big fucking white clouds. What they are, I don't know, condensation or something. But people believe that they are chemtrails, which is like chemicals being put out into the air to for nefarious reasons. What it is, I actually don't fucking know, because I've never seen anyone to give me like oh, they're putting sulfur dioxide into the clouds, and it's like, well, okay, what's that going to do to me? Is it going to make me fucking 5'5" instead of 5'6"? Oh no, you know what I mean? I've lost an inch. As long as I don't lose an inch anywhere else. Um, and it's like I've yet to see an actual argument for what um the chemtrails conspiracy are meant to do. And you could use there's the argument as well about population control. There's babies squirting out. That is not the correct term to use. Babies popping out fucking left, right, and center. So obviously population control isn't working. People are dying at the same rate they've been dying at for however, maybe before COVID. I don't know. It's like the same thing with these fucking third party American companies that they're using to store your data from watching porn. Oh, they're doing it for their fucking. There's the Illuminati lizard people. They're fucking stealing your data, and it's like, what are they gonna do? Frame me for murder because I watched a gangbang video? Okay, mate, for fuck, if you say so. What are we talking about here? Um, but interesting about chemtrails, I've been seeing more videos recently of people who are absolutely insane, and I should have actually saved some of the videos to show you on the podcast today. Um, but they go into their back garden with like a wash basket, or like a, what do you call them things you put in the sink, like a basin, and they just fill it up with like fucking water and vinegar. And they're like, where do you see the clouds that leave because they'll go out in the back garden and there'll be clouds everywhere, and they'll go out with a bottle of fucking water and vinegar, and they'll be like, wait till you see in fucking 15, 20 minutes or 2 hours, all these clouds will be away. And it's like, yes, that's how the fucking world works, you absolute moron. The earth spins, the clouds don't. It's pretty fucking self explanatory. If I'm wrong, fair enough. But in terms of, I mean, if I'm wrong in terms of the earth spinning and the clouds staying still, I don't know what way it works. One of them spins and the other one doesn't. Maybe they both spin. One spins faster than the other. I don't fucking know or care. But I can tell you for one, it's certainly not fucking vinegar in your ma's basin that's getting. I'm getting worked up and burping. That's moving the clouds. You fucking morons. Um. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the porn thing. If I think of anything else, I'll maybe come back to it. This will probably be a bit of a shorter podcast today, just because it's hard to. The previous podcasts were me complaining about things, and I understand I've complained an awful lot in this podcast. But I don't want to make it just about that. I want to make different segments. You know, bit of a reactionary sort of thing. So what I've done today is I have saved a few videos that we can react to in real time. Well, I mean, I'm not reacting to it in real time. I've obviously seen it before, and that's why I've saved it. But you can see it. Maybe you've seen it before. I don't care. But we're gonna watch them. They're all from Instagram, and then no, do you know what? I'll not explain what I'm gonna do in the future episodes because that would be fucking stupid. What we have here is a Instagram video from the World Nettle Eating Championship, which is hosted in Bottle Inn in Marshwood on the Dorset Devon border. Um, the World Nettle Eating Championships began in 1986. Um, its origins lie in a friendly dispute between local farmers over who could grow the longest nettles. When one boasted he'd eat any nettle longer than his own, and another British tradition was born. What started as a pub bet evolved into an annual contest. So these fucking lunatics eat jaggy nettles, um, which is just insane to me. What I want to know is how the fuck do their hands not hurt? I've walked past nettles and give them a slight like a fucking tiniest touch ever, and I've been in agony for hours. Maybe not hours. I actually can't remember the last time I touched the nettle because I don't go outside. Um, but from what I remember, they're pretty fucking sore. This animal here is just fucking raw dogging it with his mitts. I don't know if you can see my mouse, just where the Dorset word is. Also, where are they getting all these fucking nettles? If anyone can tell me the purpose of nettles, I'd be happy to know. But I'll show you this. If you look at the stalks, just fucking hogging them down like, oh yeah, get it into you, girl. I mean, most impressed this still here, and there's many areas. He's running his up like a fucking joint. He's making fucking prawn crackers with it, not prawn crackers, fucking tacos with his tortillas. Jesus Christ, that's the word I was looking for. He's making tortillas with his fucking nettles. What in the name of Christ? Apparently, it's so you're probably thinking, how do you win the nettle eating contest? And it's actually by let me see. The format is simple but brutal. Competitors are given 2 foot nettle stalks and must strip and eat as many leaves as possible within 60 minutes. The stems are used to measure the combined length of the stripped stalks. The longest wins. Um, which is, probably if I was to make my own sport of nettle eating, probably the way I would do it. Or maybe I would give them a set kilogram of leaves and see, like, say you start with like 20 kilograms of nettles, whoever has the least amount of kilograms left wins. But there would need to be like referees and all doing like to stop them from throwing the nettles down, or like maybe they're putting them in their pockets or whatever. They could maybe be searched before and after to see that there's no foul play going on. Um, I was trying to think of a pun for stinging, but I just can't do it. I'm not smart enough to do puns. Obviously, the guy with the fucking I don't know what that is, crack pipe in his ear. He's at the nettle eating contest. I think there's a video part where someone whiteys. I want to see that. We're looking for 2 winners. Oh yeah, so what this is your girl just dipped that in. Apparently the drinking cider is permitted and often necessary to ease the sting. So you have to dip it in cider as well. Dip it in cider? I barely know her. Zing! Or sting, should I say? Fuck me, let's go. There's no more comedy in the rest of this podcast. But yeah, dip it in cider. And then fuck off home. Sorry, but you dip it in cider. And don't give her a ring the next day. Oh, right, sorry. So you dip it in cider. Oh, and then you give it to your sister. Right, that is the last one. So you dip it in apple cider, and that takes away the sting, apparently. Well, that doesn't take it away, but it must help with the sting. I've heard of people eating nettles, like nettle soup and stuff like that before. If anyone's eating nettles, let me know. But we'll see who the guy who wins is. He looks unfazed by it. Never mind. Yeah, cider helps ease the sting, as you can see. He looks like he eats them just for fun anyway. Do you know what I mean? He looks like he's going home for a big bowl of nettles. after a long day at the fucking oil yard or coal factory, whatever the fuck it is. Just manhandling them like. Consumption of raw nettles can cause stomach issues. Yeah, I'd like to fucking think so. I wonder if this thing when you shake them out. There's a thought. There's a question we can all ponder together. Because like obviously they're getting digested and broken down, but if you're eating them at such a rapid pace, like who's the hot dog guy? Joey Chestnuts. That's the hot dog hot dog eating competition. No, hot dog eating like champion. Um, I think like if you are eating hot dog, like the hot dog eating competitions, you're just swallowing whole wieners there. Like, do they come out as solid wieners as well? Like, surely they couldn't. If anyone knows anything about biology, let me know. But I imagine these still would sting. Like, even if you have a Chinese, I have a salt and chili chicken curry half and half. My arse be stinging the next day. So, you know, I can only imagine what it's like to eat fucking however many kilograms of raw nettles. I love that this guy's got, it's just so funny. He has what can only be described as the things that the barbers put around you when you're getting your haircut, but it's money prints. And I want to know, is he doing that as a flex? Like, is he the former champion? And he's like, it's like a money spread, like a nettle spread he's doing on them? Or, like, what is the reason he doesn't want to get nettles on his fucking Palm Angels t shirt or something? What is that all about? It's an absolutely probably the worst thing about this whole competition is this guy rocking up and see if you went into a barbers who do this, who have that fucking cape to put around you, just leave automatically, just leave because you're gonna have some of the worst conversations in your life about football. The government. See if your barber puts that around you, you're in for a long ride. I'm thankfully my ma's a barber, so I only speak to my ma whenever I go to get my hair cut, and my ma doesn't watch football, so and it's more or less like any other conversation you would have with your ma. Just what are we doing for dinner? What are you doing later on? It's pretty standard. So I've never. Yeah, I always say about people having the experience with their barbers, telling them shite football opinions and conspiracy theories, or like showing them mad shit on their phones. Thankfully, my ma doesn't do that. She just shows me ISIS beheading videos on her phone, which is always a bonus. Big nod. Let's see who wins. Fucking lunatic. That guy. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, it's not him. Look at the teeth on that. Holy fuck. Jesus wept. You can only get teeth like that from eating a load of nettles, I would imagine. That is fucking wild. 22 meters of nettles covered or consumed. That's wild. Uh, what are your thoughts on what's everyone's thoughts on the nettle eating competitions? Are we fans of that? Are we fans of me showing videos? Because you're in luck, I've got another one for you. We've got 3 videos to show you, so we're gonna spread this out like I don't know, like a prostitute. We're gonna spread these out as long as we can. I've brought the video up before I've even started playing it. If you don't know who this is Danny Mullins, a great jockey. He's obviously had a midlife crisis, and he's went and got cornrows. Not only just cornrows, but red cornrows for some peculiar reason. Um, we'll play the video and see his reasoning for this.
Because I can. I'm a big Lewis Hamilton and Jimmy Butler fan.
Jimmy Butler, by the way, is a fucking basketball player. In what world do jockeys watch basketball? Which is, I also feel like he's just thought of the first 2 black people that just came to his head for who have cornrows. They'd be like, "Oh, why did you get an afro? I'm a big fucking. Why can't I think of anyone with an afro? But why did you get the cornrows? Oh, I love Lewis Hamilton, love Jimmy Butler. Okay, fair enough. You know, I love fucking Peter Wright, but I'm not going to cut about with a fucking mohawk and a snake on my head, am I? You know, and he says just because I can. It's like, yeah, you have free will, but the beauty of free will is it also implies like you can do anything you want, but you can also not do things. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is one of those moments where maybe your brain should have went, maybe I don't do this. Um, there's a lot of talk of cultural appropriation. I actually think it goes beyond cultural appropriation. I think it's just fucking. I don't know. It just looks fucking mental. Like what? All the comments are so supportive as well. This is what I don't understand. Someone commented, absolutely no interest in doing this to my hair, which is honestly the most Irish way to go about doing it. To go about saying that. Because I've no interest in doing that to my hair now. Nope. No interest at all, sir. Nope. It's like you just be like, I don't like it, you know? Um, but Christ, just let them work away. People are so worried about what other people do with their lives instead of just worrying about their own business, which I also do agree with to an extent. I know that I have mostly on this podcast slobber about the choices people make with their lives. But again, I'm making that choice in my life, so fuck yous, I suppose. Having to explain a hairstyle is wild. Someone commented, yeah, I would say that to an extent. But you literally have red cornrows. Like, let's not pretend like he doesn't look fucking insane here. This is an Irish jockey. What height is he? Let's look up. You can't see what I'm doing on my computer, but I am typing in Donny Mullins height. But when I typed in Donny Mullins H, Donny Mullins hair came up. Um, it just tells me his riding fucking statistics. To be honest, um, what is no? Here we go. Here we go. I've got his. Um, it's just not telling me. Regardless, it doesn't actually matter what height he is. He is, by the way, 29 years of age. So that's an insane way to be cutting about at 29s. 29 years old. Um, he's also, if anyone knows, their horse racing, which I imagine a lot of my. Oh, did I bring that onto the? I might have brought that onto the wrong page. Sorry. I'll just bring it back to Danny Mullins there. If anyone's familiar with horse racing, he's actually the nephew of Willie Mullins, the one of the best, probably the best horse trainer of all time. I actually touched lucky in the Grand National with a Willie Mullins treble. That's three horses all on the same day. I got 700 quid for it. So, um, thank you, Willie Mullins. Danny Mullins, not too fond of the haircut, to be honest with you. Let's see what else he
And
says.
maybe it's something that really shocks horse racing, but maybe are we a bit stone age in horse racing at times where if Lewis Hamilton is in the Formula One, Jimmy Butler at the basketball is doing something like this, it doesn't really cause that much of a stir.
I just love. It's not the fact of the sports they're in, Donny. It's the fact you're a white Irishman. Lewis Hamilton and Jimmy Butler are black men. It doesn't matter that they're in Formula One or basketball. You are a white man running about with fucking red cornrows on your head. Nobody, man. See, if you were a black jockey, nobody would bat an eye. You're a white Irishman. It's not. It's. I was gonna say it's not natural. That might sound racist to an extent. That's not how fucking things work. No one's going, oh, I love it. I love this new haircut, but I go to the greyhounds every now and again. That's not how it works. You're a fucking no one cares that you ride horses. They're pretty concerned. Like if he was a plumber, you know, people would be raising their eyebrows as well. It's not the sport, mate. It's the hair. Or fucking am I delusional here?
Or where maybe horse racing needs a little shake up at times. I'm going to be the one who looks like a moron if I don't go out and ride winners in Galway this week, but
Even if you ride winners, what in the name of Christ? You're not fucking. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, yeah, it's the hair brought me power. The hair made me more aerodynamic on the horse. The horse fucking respected me more because of the cornrows in my on my head. The horse, I give the horse cornrows too. If you give the horse, he says there, um, maybe horse racing needs a bit of a stir up. Okay, give the horse fucking cornrows then. You know what I mean? The horse will probably look better with them. I actually think a horse with cornrows would look cool as fuck. To be honest, I would bet on that horse. I'm not betting on you ever again. I cannot bet on a man who makes decisions like that in his life. It's just not normal.
big pressure week and give it a go. Yeah, I had a winner last year for my mother when I got a slightly more reformed hairstyle done. So while she was
The thing about it is, he has this mental haircut, but also speaks like a jockey. So you have him just talking like a normal guy, like a normal jockey, and then he just has red cornrows on top of his head. And I don't know, I don't really know how you make cornrows. Are they even cornrows? I don't know. Forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. Um, but has he dyed his hair first, or like I imagine your hair would need to be fairly long to be doing that. How long was his hair? It just looks. I like the way as well. There's like the wee fucking. I don't know if you can see my mouse still. The wee the way it like sort of sections off, and I find that quite satisfying, and I don't know why.
Was quite shocked when she seen me. She said, you produced it last year. Make sure it happens again this year. You have it.
Did she not say, Donny, what the fuck's on top of your head? Okay, you know what we'll do? If I get 1,000 listeners on this episode of the podcast, I will grow my hair out and get cornrows. God's honest truth. Left hand up to God, right hand up to God. I will clip this. You can clip this if you want. If I get the first video, I get 1,000 views on the podcast, I will come into the following podcast with cornrows. That's what we'll do. Not this one. Uh, just the. I think the podcast scene needs a bit of a stir up. Maybe we're a bit in the Stone Age in the podcast scene.
Go, and once you're putting in the hard work and getting the results, what you do off the track is your own business, and that
100%, 100%. But you have come out and done a press conference for having cornrows in your hair. I don't know if that really gives the. If is it really a hobby of yours to do cornrows? I don't know. I feel like I've talked enough about Danny Mullins and his cornrows. I'm getting quite worked up about it. So let's get even more worked up by this next fucking freak. Before we even go any further, right? This is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. This shit is so fucking strange. I don't know what the fuck it is. Well, I'll just show you the video first. This one, we'll watch the video together, and I'll not say anything. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate everything about this video. I hate the noises it makes. I'm gonna turn down the audio on it. You can hear it. Oh, that's the microphone I just muted. I hate everything about it. Uh, I hate the way you can see his face pressed into the fucking, like smooshed up. I hate that so much. I hate the way you can see every like crevice on his body. Why does he do that movement? Why does he do that? I don't like that. That's weird. Look at him. He looks like fucking he's in pain, but he's loving it. The freaky fucker's loving it. It's a Lilo as well. I can't look at a Lilo anymore because that looks like a side-on view of a Lilo we get on holiday. And look at the wee weird movements he's making. Now I don't know what this particular kink is called. I'll Google it. Um, I don't know. Let me see. Someone I'm looking in the comments to see what kind of weirdish is this. Looks like a fetish. Yeah, it's absolutely weird if you're into normal shit. Yeah, and I am. Uh, how the fuck? What is it? We'll Google what this is. Uh, Balloon fetish, I suppose it would be. What is the official name for a balloon fetish? Because I've been on the guy. It's just called balloon fetish. Colloquially called Looners. Absolute creeps. Um, I'm not here to kink shame, but I will do it. I have no problem. Oh, I have this one as well. I don't know. I need to readjust the video for this one. I'm so sorry. Wait. Yep, it's a naked man. Fucking. This is the same guy. What is this all about? Like, why are you rolling about like that? Let's get the audio up on this one. Oh, it's just so peculiar, isn't it? It feels to me like something out of like a horror film you would see that like they put on a TV like on loop for like $20,000 and make like someone like Clockwork Orange, like peel their eyes open and make them watch it. and they're just like fascinated by it. It is the strangest thing ever. And I know we'll go back to the other fella because he was the one that was locked in the fucking thing. How do I get back to that now? Oh wait, I can find him. There he is. Absolute oddball. So this guy, you know, is he coming in that? Is there going to be I don't know if anyone's ever had cummy boxers before. I don't think I have. That can't feel good to be, literally fucking sucked in, vacuum sealed into Lilo with your own spunk. Could not feel nice. Look at that, the thrusting motion. Like, what do you get out of this? And like, see with things like this, like solo fetish stuff, is it just like having a wank? If anyone's into anything like a solo fetish thing, let me know because I don't understand. Like, I can understand like doing fetish stuff with other people. Not that I condone it or I'm into it, but like with this, like I can understand with a couple because like it's two people doing it and like it's usually during sex or like it's being done on you or like to you by someone. Uh, this is just like having a wank, isn't it? Really, I've naturally just put my hands in the praying position because I'm like, please God, take away my eyes because I don't want to look at this stuff anymore. It's just absolutely abhorrent. How also do you find out that you're into this? Is it like one of those things where you're maybe like a kid's birthday party when you're younger, and you see the balloon animals come out, and you're thinking, "Oh, whoa, who got the fucking strippers? Oh, yeah, fucking grabbing your wee, prepubescent cock at the fucking balloon animals." Is that what it's like when you're like, if they go on a stag do for someone who has this fetish? Is that what their idea of getting the strippers out is? Just getting out a guy who can do balloon animals? Be like, here, what do you see? Yes, and it makes their that's that's not the noise that balloons make whenever you try to make them into animals, but that's the noise that came out of my mouth, and that's all you're getting. Is that what their thing is? Like the sound of the balloons rubbing together. One of the worst sounds in the world, by the way. If you ever get a balloon and like put your like don't pop it, but like give it a bit of pressure and like wipe your hand down it. It's one of the worst sounds in the world. The noises that were coming off him were fucking horrific. Um, I don't really know what else to say about him. If you're into that, you probably need shot. And please never watch this podcast. I don't want anyone associated with anything to do with that to be anywhere near a fan of mine. Um, please stay away. And I think we'll probably call the podcast there. It's 45 minutes. I do have to go back to work. Um, thank you all very much for watching. I do have planned segments. This was just the test run of the solo episode in this new schedule. So let me know what you thought. There are other segments planned. Obviously, the podcast is called Kitchen Talk. One of the segments I have an idea for is obviously there's the sort of meme at the minute, the nightmare blunt rotation. I don't smoke grass, but I think a segment we could do would be Nightmare Kitchen Talk. So the worst person you can find to be like stuck in a kitchen with, we'll take a look at them, go through why they would be bad, what they would be talking about, all the things that make them a horrible person to be stuck in the kitchen with. So let me know what you think of that. I sort of had someone planned out for it this week, couldn't quite get the content I wanted. So I skipped that and we watched the balloon fetish guy instead. So let me know what you think if you enjoyed this podcast. I'm trying to think if I have anything to plug. Sirocco Works FC fundraiser on the 22nd of August. I'll be in the Castlereagh Glentoran Supporters Club doing a bit of a longer set, probably about 20 minutes. So please come down, watch. It'll be quite good. It's good to see how. I hope it'll be good. It could be shite for all I know. But we've got great acts on it as well. I've got Kieran Franco, Adam Byrne, Daniel Houston, and then Ian Thompson. He's MCing it. So even if I'm shite, they'll all be class because they always are. Apart from that, no other gigs. Keep an eye out for Wafflers Live podcast, the recording. And also keep ears and eyes out for our second Wafflers Live podcast. And I'll see you again on Saturday. Thank you.